Alrighty, let's go to the tail of the tape and see how Mark Serkez and Corey Krebs match up on paper. This is a light heavyweight matchup. The big difference here is the height and reach. Corey Krebs, a freaky 6'6", 81-inch reach advantage over Mark Serkez at 5'9" and 74 inches. Mark Serkez fighting out of Team Trauma. Corey Krebs out of Gracie Baja, Orlando. There is bad blood between these two combatants.
Fight number 5 in the blue corner at 203 pounds from Orlando, Florida, representing Team Trauma. Let's hear it for Mark Serkez. And from the same town at 200 pounds, representing Gracie Baja, in the red corner, Corey the Freak Krebs in the red corner. This bout is scheduled for 3 rounds. Chris Adams in charge.
All right, gentlemen, you remember the rules we went over earlier. I expect a good, clean fight. You're both professionals. I expect you to act accordingly. Do you have any questions? Let's hook them up. Let's do this.
And there you see the 2 light heavyweights right there. Mark Serkez fighting out of Team Trauma, Ocala, Florida, and Corey Krebs, the Freak, fighting out of Gracie Baja, a very tall light heavyweight at about 6'6", 6'7", doesn't want to touch gloves.
He's imposing and he's a big guy, and I'll tell you, Jay, I'm not afraid of Halloween or monsters or ghosts, but when I see Krebs' tattoo on his stomach, that's a little bit scary. And, you know, he's a really nice guy to talk to, but, you know, seeing him nicknamed as the Freak just with his size and his tattoos, he likes that, you know. And he's going to do everything he can, as these guys are trading pretty well, but he wants to use that reach, take advantage of that distance, and control Serkez. We've seen Serkez before. He's strong and agile and active, and his job tonight is going to be to close that distance and box or kickbox from the inside or work the fight to the ground, which would be interesting, Jay, because both of these guys are very skilled grapplers as well. So as we see with the clinch, Krebs throwing an elbow from the clinch up against the cage there. Yeah, Serkez swinging.
Sorry about that, Ben. Yeah, just the size difference is a big challenge for Mark. You had mentioned reach earlier on. 81 inches for the Freak. That is a lot to deal with.
It's hard to box and kickbox and strike with guys that have a reach like that. You can see Serkez, this might not be his typical kickboxing style, you know, but he's got to overcompensate. Throw kicks that he knows will not land just to break it up.
He has to jump to throw that jab.
Just swing his arms to connect because he needs to get on the inside. He's just trying to create pace to the inside.
And there has been some bad blood between these two combatants. No love lost. You saw at the beginning of the fight, Corey Krebs did not want to touch gloves. Serkez will not be happy with that. In a way, it's a disrespect not to touch gloves with your opponent. But as you said, Corey Krebs gets very serious when he gets in the cage. He's a nice guy outside of that cage.
We want to see as much sportsmanship as possible, but don't you agree, Jay, that we're seeing more and more of the "I'm not touching your gloves"?
Yeah, there's definitely that attitude starting to creep more into the sport. Nice right-left there by Mark Serkez.
Those punches are connecting and landing, as we've been talking about, when he gets on the inside. And a big knee from Krebs right there, I think just opened up Serkez, as we can see the blood coming out of the forehead. And referee Adams is going to stop the motion for a minute and take a look. It's not near the eye, but the problem here, Jay, is if that cuts directly above the eye, is the blood going to run down and block the vision? If it's going to be blocking the vision, they'll stop this fight, and letting the doctor take a look at it right now.
This is actually a very good break for Mark Serkez, because there's a possibility he could have been hurt by that knee, and this is a good chance for him to gather himself, but also to make it very clear to him that he's probably going to have to, based on where that cut is, really pick up the pace here and try to finish things off.
When you know you're cut, you know you're behind in the fight, at least as far as the judges see it. And when you know that there's a potential for that cut being opened up more and that stopping the fight, kind of puts a little bit of pressure on you, but it also gives you a little bit of fire to push. And I think we might see Serkez come in and swing a little bit more try to connect a little bit. There's a big
nice
swing in
right
hand.
there by Serkez, and he's coming in now. He sensed that he may have hurt. Oh, big left hand, and Corey Krebs has been knocked out. And Mark Serkez throwing his mouthpiece at Corey Krebs and now kicking the corner of Corey Krebs. He is upset about something.
Another two-punch knockout, a big swing with connection, another connection when they went down to the ground, and Adams stopped it right away. I think that was a great stoppage, but just what we were saying, you know, he's pushing the pressure, swinging a little bit harder and getting on the inside. That was a pretty good comeback on Serkez's part.
At 2 minutes and 40 seconds of round number 1, Mark Serkez knocking out this gentleman right here, Corey Krebs, and he definitely hurt his left knee. You'll see in the replay, Ben, when he got knocked out, he fell at a weird angle and his left leg was torqued to the left, and his knee was damaged. You'll see right here.
Serkez stepping in his southpaw stance with the right leg forward, fakes a jab, huge overhand left.
Wow.
That was a controlled haymaker, if you want to call it that.
And look at the left leg of Corey Krebs. It was torqued back. And if this